Much. So my name is Rutika and I am Associate Vice President for Workforce Development and Career and Technical Education at Arizona Western College. And the next one I would like to introduce is Pat Lamestra.
I'm Pat Lamestra. I'm the Director for Construction and Technology here at Arizona Western College.
Sam Colton.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I serve at the college as the Manufacturing Program Coordinator, and I'll have a few minutes of your time later on in today's webinar. Thank you.
Bruce Carroll.
Afternoon. My name is Bruce Carroll. I'm the Professor of Electrical Technology, and also I oversee the Electrical Apprenticeship at AWC.
And then we still count Shannon as part of AWC also, so she still teaches for us. So, she will introduce as part of Arizona at Work, her own business and everything, but I'm so proud of our team. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Patrick and GYEDC, for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, and then before I introduce Arizona Work staff, I'd like to introduce Sherry from the state, and she is in the apprenticeship program. Sherry.
Hi, I'm Sherry Serwinski with the Arizona Apprenticeship Office. We are part of the Arizona Department of Economic Security.
Thank you, Sherry. And I'll introduce our staff. My name is Patrick Getz. I'm an Operations Director for Arizona Work in Yuma County. Mariana.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mariana Martinez. I'm the Employer Engagement Coordinator for Arizona at Work Yuma County.
Veronica.
Hello, everyone. My name is Veronica Zuniga, and I am the one-stop operator for Arizona at Work.
And Shannon.
Hello, I'm Shannon Aaron Moore. I serve as the Master Trainer and the NCCR representative, ATS known as YPIC.
Thank you, Shannon. And then some of you were on the last webinar, so I just wanted to kind of like the situation analysis is back in the last one, nobody wanted to work, and the situation has changed with the governor's change in policy with unemployment insurance. So we are starting to see people come back. They're coming into the career centers. Our one small career center up in San Luis saw 1,300 people last month coming in. So things are improving, and we know it's been very hard on the employers and keeping a workforce or even trying to find a workforce. So we think the program that we have today, or the information that we're going to be able to pass, is very beneficial to you. It's cost saving. Arizona Work, Arizona Western College, the state, our NCCR all work together in putting these programs together. And I just want to mention, I wasn't really real familiar with the apprenticeship program. And here a while back, we had an employer come in looking for an arborist. And we were kind of lost on that one, but we gave Sherry a call, and they actually had a program for that. And we sat down with the employer, and he's registered in the program now. He's looking for, you got to find somebody who has a passion for that. But I'm thinking there's probably an apprenticeship program for everything that you have out there. And then when the manufacturing certificate program was put together, it was very well thought out. Ritika took control of that, and all the AWC instructors and our NCCR put that together. Same thing with the electrical apprenticeship program. So we're very proud of our collaboration with all these agencies. And with that, I think I'm going to turn it over to Sherry, and she's going to start with the apprenticeship programs.
Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate the introduction. Again, I'm Sherry Serwinski with the Arizona Apprenticeship Office, and we are part of Department of Economic Security, State of Arizona. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of information about registered apprenticeship and our partnership with Arizona Western College. So registered apprenticeship, it is an earn while you learn model. So it's industry driven. The main piece is to have those employers at the table. So these are examples of some of our registered apprenticeship programs that we have across the state. We also have programs with companies like CVS Health, Liberty Mutual, Arizona Public Service. And so it's a job from day one. and provides a career pathway for the apprentice. The employer hires and trains an apprentice alongside an experienced mentor to do that particular occupation. And so it's an earn while you learn training model that has been around for over a century in the United States. Next slide, please. So we are celebrating 80 years of registered apprenticeship this month in Arizona. It was first recognized back in Wisconsin in 1911. August 1937, Congress passed the Fitzgerald Act, putting that into law. And then in March of 1941, registered apprenticeship began in Arizona, and Governor Sidney Osborne signed it into law in June 16th, to be exact, 1941. The Department of Economic Security is the registration agency for all programs operating throughout the state of Arizona. So there's 5 core components of registered apprenticeship, and the 2 in the red box are really the key ones that you see every single day. And so that is the structured on-the-job training as well as the related technical instruction. But you'll notice first there is that employer involvement. So employers are key to registered apprenticeship, and they need to be at the table to make registered apprenticeship work. So the minimum requirements for a registered apprenticeship program are 2,000 hours per year of on-the-job training, as well as 144 hours per year of classroom instruction. There also are annual pay increases associated with those measurable skills gained, and then a certificate of completion that is issued at the end of the apprenticeship program to the apprentice. So registered apprenticeship is a program for everyone. As of last month, we have 4,100 registered apprentices in the state of Arizona, about 165 different occupations. Right now we're at 7.6% veterans and about similar percentage of females. And so we collaborate with all of Arizona at Work to help bring and attract diverse types of candidates to your apprenticeship program. We partner with the business service reps, the veterans representatives, reentry programs, and various other community-based organizations to help create your diverse workforce. And right now our goal, and really ongoing goal of registered apprenticeship, has been to increase the number of veterans and females in apprenticeship. So what are some of the benefits of registered apprenticeship? Well, for employers, one of the big ones is return on investment. If you could go back to the one with the dollar sign on it, that would be great. Backwards. We're going to go to slide 6, please. Thank you. So one of the biggest is the return on investment. So for every dollar that is spent in registered apprenticeship, there is about a $1.50 return on investment for the apprentice in regards to the increased productivity, reduced waste, and increased innovation for the apprenticeship. And on the next slide, other benefits are in recruitment and retention. So as I mentioned, we help you recruit a highly qualified workforce and a diverse workforce. Apprenticeship offers reduced turnover for your organization. They say that about 92% of people retain their employment after their apprenticeship is completed. There's measurable skills gained throughout the process, and then they get that nationally recognized credential at the end of the apprenticeship program. Next slide. For the apprentice, there's also tons of benefits. They get increased wages, increased skills, they get that national credential, career advancement throughout the process, and then a lot of programs, they often receive their college credits that they can apply towards an associate's or bachelor's degree when they're taking their classroom instruction through a community college like Arizona Western. They say that about $72,000 is the average salary for an apprentice upon completion of the apprenticeship program. So it makes it very attractive for them to join a company that has a registered apprenticeship program. Next slide. I mentioned several times the nationally recognized credential. The apprentices receive a state certificate signed by the Governor and Secretary of State of Arizona, as well as a certificate from the U.S. Department of Labor and a wallet card as well. Now, there's different models of apprenticeship. And so the single employer model is probably the most common that we see. And that would be, for example, like our programs with CVS Health and Comfort Systems, where the employer provides the on-the-job training. They also provide the classroom training, and they serve as the sponsor. Now, with the intermediary model plus the employer, that's a little bit different program, and that is what we're looking at with Arizona Western's program. The college serves as the intermediary sponsor, as well as provides the classroom training, or RTI. The employer provides the on-the-job training, and then of course Arizona at Work helps provide additional supportive services to the apprentices. And then a couple other different models are the multiple employer model, or a labor union type of programs, as well as associations. So for example, Phoenix Electrical, ABA AGC, they are the association that manages the program. They have their apprentices working for a different employer, and then they work with a third party that provides the classroom instruction. And then the fourth model is with multiple employers and multiple intermediaries. So that would be where one intermediary serves as the sponsor, one provides the classroom instruction, they still work with the employers. And an example of this would be one that we're working on right now through a consultant organization and CompTIA, as well as partnering with Fresh Start Women's Foundation that is going to have some of the job seekers that can enter the program. Next slide, please. Currently, we're working with 3 community colleges as intermediary sponsors for apprenticeship, and that is, of course, Arizona Western College, as well as Central Arizona College and Pima Community College. Again, the way this works is they provide the classroom instruction and sponsor the program, while the employers, different employers they partner with, will put the apprentices to work and keep track of their classroom hours, or I'm sorry, their on-the-job training hours. And so intermediary sponsors help registered apprenticeship grow by those employer relationships that they have. Next slide. And then this is our contact information. Willie Higgins is our Estate Apprenticeship Director. I'm the Regional Outreach Coordinator. My contact information is on here and then on a subsequent slide. And then we have our general email box there, as well as our website, which is the azapprenticeship.com. And then apprenticeship.gov has tons and tons of resources for all different types of audiences about registered apprenticeship across the United States. Thank you very much, and I will hand it off to my next partner.
So thank you, Sherry. So just to give viewers an idea of NCCER really quickly. NCCER is the National Center for Construction Education and Research, and it is a nationally recognized credential. It doesn't expire like OSHA. It's modular, which means that you don't have to take the pieces in any particular order. And they have competency-based performance standards that are actually established not by education, but by verified industry experts, subject matter experts. As Sherry mentioned, 144 actual training instructional hours have to be done in order to complete a level of apprenticeship, which coordinates with the state, also on the national level. And then the 8,000 hours of on-the-job learning, that's where our community employers come in. So when we were building the electrical apprenticeship for AWC, we went through class by class, made sure that all of the modules in NCCER were covered in the curriculum, and then Bruce can talk more about that. But there are several classes that we did add for the program to be able to get all of the NCCER modules. Next slide, please. So there are credentials associated with NCCER, wallet card, there are certificates, and then there's also a transcript. Next slide, please. And So one of the reasons why NCCR was selected is that it is very portable. You can get a job anywhere in the country. If you've gone through the NCCR instructional modules for electrical in Arizona, you should have received the same training if you were to take those credentials in Maine, for example. The other thing is the database is online and employers can check, they can verify records for a potential employee. What the online verification gives is the modules completed successfully. So if you, last slide for me, Mariana, please. So I pulled up an example. So all you need to know is someone's NCCER number, and you put that in. The only information that comes up is are the modules completed. There's no personal information, no state, no date of birth, nothing that would identify them except for the NCCR number, and only the successful modules. Any module that is not 70% or higher is not recorded, so there are no failures reported. So it seemed like a really good fit for us when we were trying to develop a program with AWC and how to use resources that have already been created by industry experts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Bruce Carroll. Again, I'm the professor of electrical construction, and also I oversee the apprenticeship at AWC. And because we were already using NCCR modules and our certificate program and also our degree program, it was a very good fit for us to encompass more of their program to become our 4-year apprenticeship. Next slide. Okay, so as Sherry mentioned, our program is a 4-year apprenticeship, and it requires the apprentice to obtain 8,000 work hours in a period of 4 years. It has a wide range of skills and specifics that are specific in any of the industries. We touch bases on basic electrical and go from motor controls up to PLC learning, and as far as the apprentice wants to go. And once the apprentice has finished, he will become a certified state apprenticeship. Okay, so we've partnered with several of the community contractors. Right now we have 8 that are registered sponsors, and these sponsors take on our apprentices in a work atmosphere. And this allows the apprentice to actually get the experience, OJT experience, and very beneficial because the emphasis is the 8,000 hours of on-the-job training. We only provide approximately 575 hours of learning throughout their 4 years. So again, the emphasis is on the hands-on aspect of it. Okay. These apprentices are very beneficial to the employer. Again, with the reduced turnover rates. Most of the time, when an apprentice leaves an employer, it's either by choice or by lack of work that the employer has not at that time. They're working as a highly skilled employee. So as they progress through their program, their skills just keep increasing. So that's very beneficial to the employer. Most of the time, as Sherry mentioned, 92% of the apprentices, when they finish their program, they stay with that same employer. So you're growing your home workforce as they progress through this program. And again, once they understand their process, then they're very highly productive. Next. Okay, so for the benefit of for the apprentices, this is very low cost or no cost to the student to go through this program. As a example, when a student registers for classes, he has to register for financial aid. And if that doesn't come through, then Arizona at Work has an opportunity that they can also provide for the cost of this program. Career advancement opportunities, it's endless. You know, we open up many doors based on what the contractors can provide and how far the apprentice wants to go. And then internationally recognized credentials. We have recently been awarded the Tibet certification, which is European standards. So we had a gentleman come over, visit our facilities, and we were awarded that credential. So once, even though they're getting the credentials from the state, they're also getting international credentials. So if they want to go overseas, then that's very widely recognized also. Next. Okay, so this is kind of a breakdown of each level that the apprentice goes through. Level 1, 2, 3, and 4, which kind of resembles the 4 years that they'll be in the program. And as you can see, we touch bases on a huge amount of different aspects. But most of the time, each one of these has a hands-on proficiency test that the apprentice has to complete to get accreditation through NCCR. So when an apprentice enters the apprenticeship, they fill out a registration form. Once I receive that registration form or application, then it'll go before our review board, which consists of 4 of the industry sponsors. And we'll bring the apprentice in, have them review, make sure they're very a potential candidate, and then we work forward from there, applying for FAFSA. If that doesn't pan out, then we go to Arizona at Work, and then we'll get into the orientation, how our apprenticeship works. It's a huge obligation for the apprentices. This is 4 years of their lives, and they have to be what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so then they start into the program, and again, each semester they have to take at least 2 classes, and that's towards their education. And then they'll continue each month. They have to turn in a log that we track. That's how we calculate their 8,000 hours. Okay, and this is kind of a breakdown of how the wages work. We're saying 50%. 50% of what amount? We're not saying. And then each month, or every 6 months, once they've finished their education portion and accrued 1,000 hours of work, then they're afforded a 5% increase. And as they progress, then that's how their wages also progress.
Are you handing it off?
You got it, Sam.
You got it.
Okay, all right. There's a long pause there, but I didn't want to hop in there. Good afternoon, everybody. With the time I have in this, I just wanted to share with you that Arizona Western College is partnered with STEADY, which is the Southwest Technical Education District of Yuma, and our other stakeholders who are in this meeting now. I'm excited to be here working with this program as the program coordinator. Just so some of you could realize, I used to service through my company, Colton's Welding and Machine Works. At the time, it was Mid-America Yard Mills, which is now Shaw. I provided machining and machinery repair services throughout the county. transitioning over to American Linen as their plant engineer, eventually out to Yuma Proving Grounds for 12 years as their high pressure boiler maintenance technician. So I get it. And I remember my CEO, Mr. Clive King, telling me, Sam, it's like the Pony Express. When the plant don't run, then you need to go. And so I always had that in my mind every day, that there's a big responsibility for the manufacturing operations and the maintenance and management of the systems that make all of our production go. If you could click to the next slide, please. So for those of you who are not familiar with the construct of this program, this is a maintenance technician program. Quick history on the Yuma Manufacturers Association. This ball got rolling years ago with various plant managers and plant engineers trying to get a local grow our own technicians to staff our manufacturing plants at the time. And it's growing. And a lot of people in our community don't realize the depth and diversity of the manufacturing base that is in Yuma and the ongoing attraction to Yuma of companies that want to manufacture here. And we have a great workforce, and our local people are wanting to educate and grow into positions. The images on this slide represent pneumatics, hydraulics, precision machining, CNC, automation controls, power generation. All of those are in our construct. So I want you to know that that's what we're building our program to, and it's a dynamic program, meaning that it's adaptive to input from local employers. I also want to point out, Professor Carroll and I were visiting with the plant manager at Allside here just the other week. And I want you to know that his program is not limited to electrical contractors, that he can also engage an apprentice within these manufacturing plant environments. Almost all of them have qualified electricians and do a lot of in-house electrical work. And so that opportunity is there. So you can actually capture a technician who's completing their electrical apprenticeship at the same time. That would certainly be a highly valued individual in your company. Let's go to the next slide. And we're going to give you a 30-second promo video. Let's see if that video will function. Whoever's got control, click on that link. I'm drum rolling. I see Patrick. I don't see the video. 4, count down that ad. That's me typing, by the way. Skip that ad. Right-hand corner, click. Audio. I hope you can hear it. I'll do the voiceover. So those are the areas we're teaching. Come back to me. That's Patrick. So when this goes out, hopefully you'll be able to launch that video. What's significant about that video is that it's announcing to our community that our program will be set up on a 25-acre campus in a relatively brand new, actually, building off exit 30 in Welton, Arizona. And so our deployment out there is essential to us having a destination education center for skilled trades. And we're launching that with electrical and manufacturing technology. So if you go to the next slide, you'll see that our partners are there. If the student is a high school age, they do not have to be attending a high school. They have to be high school age. Steady can help pay for their entire program construct. You can see my contact over there, as well as our division, Shannon Aaronmore, Sherry, for the apprenticeship program. I have our NIMS outline of our core information. If you'll email me, I will email that to you. All of the plant managers and plant engineers will be very, very impressed that that is our core instructional tech for our program, and it really does cover it. And so that's the last install is we're working so our students will actually have a NIMS, or a nationally recognized through the National Institute of Metalworking Industrial Technology Maintenance credentials as they come through our program. And with that, I'll say thank you. I look forward to meeting you, talking to you, and growing your workforce. Thank you. That's my cue to hand it off, by the way.
No,
Did I stay under the time limit there, Patrick? I'm doing my best.
you did good. You did good.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, you can take that down, Mariana. And I guess, Kareem, I guess we want to answer any questions if they're in the chat box.
Yes, Patrick, thank you everybody for staying with us. I just want to mention that I'm looking at people who's joining us today, and we have a diversity of industry. We have tracks, and we have aerospace, we have automobile, we have food industry. So I just wanted to make sure that I mention it so that you understand that the programs the Arizona Work offers is, and the apprenticeships programs and the programs that AWC has available to the community, it doesn't apply just to one industry. There is a diversity. And if you have any questions, if you are struggling with the right workforce for your specific industry, please reach out to us and we'll see what we can do. I understand by Sherry that the apprenticeship program, they are also including health for what we understand the last time we met, Sherry, correct?
Absolutely, yes. And I don't know if I mentioned, there's over 1,400 different occupations that can be a registered apprenticeship. So anything from healthcare, manufacturing, construction, insurance, finance, pretty much across the board.
Yes, thank you, Sherry. Well, and also please ask any questions you may have. If you have any anything that you want to know or learn, if it's possible for you, please go ahead and ask your question. One more thing I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the meeting, this meeting is being recorded and is going to be available for you guys. Maybe it's a little late, right, Patrick?
No, she did. She recorded it.
All of you are recorded by now. So I'll be sharing that video with you guys. And if you want to share with co-workers or anyone that you believe that benefit by learning of these programs and certifications. Another thing I wanted to announce, and I'm not going to announce the company's name because I wasn't authorized and I didn't get a chance to speak to the person, the plant manager. There is a manufacturing in Yuma who visited, tour the AWC manufacturing facility. They were so impressed with what is being covered in the things that they are teaching, and not only at the college level, but these students are coming from STEADY, which is a high school students or high school age, all the way to AWC where they can continue their studies or end it right there and have the certification and work at the industry. They're hiring students right now. I learned that there are 30 students registered for the manufacturing certification and 4 were hired and they are looking for more. So I'm open to hear from you guys. If you want to tour the facility, Retika was so kind to, and Sam and Pat and Bruce to welcome you guys. We can set up a time and a date and we can bring you all and learn more about it. Another thing I wanted to make sure that you guys know is when we visit your companies during the business retention and expansion survey, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're learning what you need and what you're asking for and what your specific needs. And one of those, specifically the electrical apprenticeship, came out of those visits. We heard from you guys and most of you were needing electrical and mechanicals at your plants that we invited the partners AWC, Arizona Work, and Shannon was instrumental in this program. So we put it all together. And this is because you were the voice, you told us what you needed. And with that, I'll stop talking and I'll open the microphone. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and feel free. Let's have a conversation. I know it's Friday and we probably want to go have some drinks and then get to start the weekend already. Maybe we haven't had dinner.
Ratika says that lunch will be on them as well.
When you visit college, right? And all of you on us.
Yeah, I will be interested to get a tour in the facilities. I'm in the need of some employees, so I would love to take a tour if possible.
Great. We can make it happen, Blanca.
Ratika,
Great.
this is Corey from Gowan. Hi, I know our newer plant manager from Gowan couldn't be here today, but I just, has anyone from Gowan toured out there? No? Okay, awesome. Let's set that up like ASAP. I'll show you an email.
Yeah, there are 30 students total for taking, so we still have 26. Who else?
I have jobs for them, so I'll be out there next week.
Excellent. Yeah. How about you, Dean? You've been quiet. Dean White.
Yes, I am here. This is the first one of these calls I've been on. I used to participate back in the day. It's been 5, 6, 7 years ago. The Yuma manufacturing group. We used to go around to quite a few facilities around town, but yes, we're definitely looking for maintenance folks, electricians in particular. So looking forward to getting a copy of this deck so we can get some contact information.
Awesome. We're trying to bring it back, Dean. We've been having meetings with the ACA, the Arizona Commerce Authority, and we bring them to town and we have one-on-one visits with you guys, and they normally stay 2 days, but after the pandemic, we suspended those visits and we decided to go virtual. And I think we can cover a lot more when these meetings are in virtual because it's more relaxed. We have a group of people and we get to meet each other and you guys get to know your neighbors. So who else is manufacturing in Yuma? So thank you, Dean, for joining us today, and Corey.
Thanks for having me.
Jeff from the city of Yuma. Thank you for joining us. You want to say something today, Jeff? No. It's okay. I put him on the spot. He wasn't expecting me to invite him to say any words today.
You know, Kareem, maybe one thing, maybe Shannon could explain it in real short, but when she was talking about the NCCR accreditation, we actually went out to the air station here a while back because those electricians that went to military schools and like welding school and stuff like that, those have mostly been analyzed for what credits they can receive. And those military training, whether, you know, as long as they had that certificate and that training is, you know, listed, they can give NCCR accreditation. Isn't that correct, Shanna?
That is correct. It's called Hard Hats for Heroes. And I'm trying to control them. Hold on.
You're on mute now.
This is the only way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's called Hard Hats for Heroes. And what essentially happens is they have a program for people who have been in the military. They've had training. It doesn't always cross over into the civilian world. And Hard Hats for Heroes takes modules from NCCER and looks at the military record and training record and matches up modules so that for free, people transitioning out of the military are going to have modules under their belt. Whether or not they complete an entire level, that depends on their level of training, but they will be able to use that in the civilian world. And because NCCR supports our military, they don't have to pay for any of that matriculation.
And then we can also give them college credit up to 38. credits. So if Shannon and Patrick from Arizona at Work, anyone will send us anyone. So we have a great partnership with Arizona at Work. So if Patrick will send us anything, or Shannon, that this person have it, we can give up to 38 credits, college credit, transferable, which will go towards their degree, so if there is anyone.
And they can get up to 50% of their apprenticeship if they're already an experienced electrician. So they don't have to start from scratch. They can work at their level and move up.
And the good thing about the NCCR curriculum is that it's modular. So if they had maybe a couple of modules here with the military, and then they work for one of our employers in town, we can kind of fill in modules to be made up in order for them to get a full level of apprenticeship. So up to 50% of it can be tested out basically, and then the other 50% can be done.
Awesome. I would like to give a shout out to Benny. I just learned that Benny, congratulations. This is another success story. Benny, you're a student of UAA and now you work for Clarios, right?
Yes, that's correct. I'm still enrolled in the systems engineering course here at U of A. Yes,
Yeah,
but I'm working full time and taking 3 or 4 classes a semester. So I know Ritika, I'd taken her class a few semesters back. You know, it's I like that you guys are doing this for you know, there's not a lot of talent here when it's regarding to not enough experience when you're looking for somebody with electrical background or some mechanical. It's easier to find mechanics here in Yuma, but we struggle with electricians, you know, some technical background. And I'm very happy that you guys have these that you guys brought these courses back, because I know that I worked with Sam. I've taken some of these classes before when I think our previous engineering manager was here when I was still a mechanic. So I really like those classes, and I think they will be beneficial for our current mechanics here on site.
For our students, and that's correct, Benny. We hear that we have students here, and the university created those programs on engineering because, again, through the business retention BRE program, we hear that we are lacking the skilled workforce in that area, and engineering, mechanics, and electricity.
Yes, that's correct. And yeah, pretty much when we try to look for, you know, somebody with those kind of with that kind of experience, it's either train them yourself, send them to school, or get them from somewhere else. But that's not very ethical.
Yeah. Yes, great. Thank you for joining us, Benny. And Ryan, welcome, Ryan.
Yeah, I had a quick question for the group, and especially for the AWC group. So with everything that I'm seeing for people relocating from California and moving to Yuma, obviously real estate is booming. From an AWC, are you guys seeing an increase in enrollment, or how's that going for you guys? Just out of curiosity.
So depend, Ryan, different programs. For manufacturing, you were part of us. You, Arizona at Work, we all sat together, if you remember. We all created this certificate as a team. Shannon was there, you know, all of us. So it's very beginning stage. We don't have that much of enrollment because sometimes that it's not that fancy for the kids, for 18-year-old, this vocabulary. However, there's certain programs where our enrollment is very high. So we are still, that's the reason Sam, our, you know, hero, he's like trying to do everything he can to increase enrollment and have everyone aware of what opportunities we have. So he's working on it. And we need all of you guys' support to make this successful. And as Sherry said, this apprenticeship will be great lead. And we're gonna be opening another position, which is Director of Apprenticeship. That will help to create this whole lead towards a different certificate, like mechanical, electrical, technician, so different level. Plumbing, you know, we say from logistics. So we're going to create different level of apprenticeship. So we are working on that. So, but again, we need all of you. We can't get people enrolled. Right? Go ahead.
Ryan, Ritika, everyone, can I chime in some that I've really, for me, I think it's an important contribution. One of the things is having a point of contact with families in the community, and probably there's no greater points of contact than the employees working in our manufacturing companies. I've started this week developing our version of a newsletter. I'd like to be able to add pages that represent some of the companies in town, a highlight, a spotlight, but distribution through our companies, because there's my son-in-law's mom is a longtime employee at Shaw. And so if she got news, she would carry that back and disseminate that within our family group. I know that. And so when you think of all the employees, Allside has well over 500 employees a day go to work there. One of the things that I found as a challenge is communicating within the community points of reference of what are we doing when we say manufacturing, to what are the opportunities. But those employees see what the maintenance team is doing. They see what the plant engineer is doing. They see what the production and the metrics that are go into putting 10 million car and truck batteries through your plant, Benny, every year. Those employees see that. And so I really do think that if they knew more about us, GYEDC, YPIC, Arizona at Work, that we could actually pollinate the entire community probably more effectively that way than any other media that we're using. And I just wanted to share that, and hopefully we can get a groundswell within our own community of manufacturing and technical families, because every employee has a family, and every employee can influence that family to come to school, learn a trade, learn, educate. I'm hoping to bring on next week a local San Luis student who just finished a bachelor's of engineering at Duke University, who's on track for a master's at MIT in the fall. I want to be part of that young man's story. And I think there's more of them in our community. We just have to find our voice, and then we can bring them to school and see the success that they're going to have. So I just wanted to share that. I'll get off my soapbox there. Was that? Yeah. That was. I'm drawing down my next 5 minutes in my next webinar.
That was kind of my next question was, how can we as industry partners help out? And like I said, I completely agree with you, Sam. So if there's some way that for us to help promote it, we're all for it. I've been a big supporter of all these programs for a couple of years now. So as I'm getting more involved, I really like it. And I think we have a workforce that, you know, they want to grow, and they want a path to success. And I think we can give that to them, but we just need to promote it better, and we can help out with that as an industry partner. So Ritika and I kind of were talking direct messages on this. So yeah, we'll get together and whatever we can do to help, we're here.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. And you just mentioned it's very important that we bring back, as Dean mentioned, when the Juma Manufacturing Association used to meet. This is for you guys. And we talk, and AWC, Sam, and GYEDC, we are going to take the lead, right, Sam? We're going to have to take the lead.
Absolutely. But you know, those were and these are very fun times. When we're doing what we're doing, and we're all passionate about it, we're on this webinar today, we're in our jobs. You know, I think of it like somebody ruined my life in a good way back. And I'm paying that forward, because I've had a really good life, and I love what I've done. Not always when I have a down day or a boiler that's got a tube out and I've got to retube it and put steam back into production. But that's the excitement. And I'll tell you, the young people that are coming to our programs are motivated. And what's exciting is they want to be in your company. They're here, and it's a leap of faith. They start by trusting people like Professor Carroll and me and our AWC team, and they're counting on us to provide them the education that's the opportunity to be where Benny's sitting, or be where Ryan's at. And that's significant. That's a high level of responsibility. I take it real serious, but I want it to be fun while we're doing it. And so I'm excited to be here, to be with you, and to have that level of trust. It was exciting to see those 3 students get hired last week at a manufacturer. I spent time yesterday working on resume interviewing and email etiquette with more, and I have more on Monday because there's another manufacturer that wants to have some students, and we talked to them, and they're committed to taking these entry-level students, flexing their schedule so they can go to school, so they can grow into their maintenance technicians that they need to continue operating their plants here in Yuma. So I just want to thank you for trusting us, and thank those students for trusting us.
Thank you, Sam. Sorry, but Ritika, go ahead. We have just a few minutes.
If anyone can't, afford, we will find a scholarship, 100%. Like Patrick is there, VOA, WIOA, Arizona Western College, we will figure it out how to pay for that employee. So if they can't, so that should not be the barrier. If they can't, we will find 100%. That's my word. Like there is some student coming in my office, we will figure it out so that they can finish that certificate. If you have employee, if that's the only barrier is how to pay for it, we will figure it out. So just let us know. Because there's a lot of, in this community, good people are here, and we will all work together to make sure they get it done to the end, finish line, and that's going to be our goal.
Thank you so much, Ritika. We're running a little, just 2 minutes under a full hour. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining us, special guests from Arizona Work and Arizona Western College. Thank you so much for joining us today. Shannon, I love your page and LinkedIn. There's always something cool about you going on. Thank you, everybody. And any words, Patrick, anything before we leave?
No, I think you got it. So I think it's a good way to end a Friday.
Excellent. You guys have an excellent, great weekend. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll get back again, and we're going to schedule some meetings to meet at the college campus. Sherry, thank you so much. Everybody have a great weekend. Thank you.